So until yesterday, we saw what are the different identification techniques we have from module. We also saw how can we build a basic test case in Tosca. Okay. So today, let us see, like using the same test case. Can I execute the same test case once again? Will it work? Do you think can I execute the same test case once again? Do you think will it work?
No, actually, the data what we are given is already existing, so it won't register again.
Yeah, we cannot register again with the same ID. So then what can I do? What can I do in order to make my test case work once again if I execute?
We have to change the values.
Every time coming and changing this email ID, it is very difficult for me. So what else? So how should my email ID be so that it will be a unique value every time? Uh, can I use some random numbers instead of 28 there? Can I give some random numbers? So every time some random number comes up and the data becomes unique. Yes or no?
Yes, we can give.
Yeah, we can do that. So in Tosca, how can you generate a random numbers? Always remember there are so many internal functions available within Tosca itself. In order to access to those all functions, the syntax starts with curly braces always. Even click is a function. That is the reason the syntax started with curly braces, CLICK, and then close the curly braces. In the same way, there is a syntax for random numbers also. That is curly braces, R and D, and then you have a square braces there, which represents the number of digits that you want. You need not worry, like I'll show you over here. We need not remember all those things. For suppose I don't know the function of random numbers, but I want to use random numbers. Simply give curly braces. It will start listing out all the functions that are present in Tosca. So among all these functions that are present here, what is that you need to use? R means random number, right? So just I clicked on R, and then see it started listing out all the functions that come up with R. And now if you can just go through them, see here it will show you the exact text what this particular function means. Okay, so random regex means random strings which are containing regular expressions will be generated. Random text. See, a text with so and so number of characters is generated, and they give you an example. Random text of 7. See, it generates 7 characters in total. R control, right side control button. Okay, R control click performs a left click while holding the control key down. R control, again the same one, but the spelling is different here, that's all. The same again. Regex is nothing but whenever you want to give regular expressions. So in this way you will have all the functions. All you need to see is, see for R&D what you have, creates a random number with a number of digits, and the expression is curly braces R and D square braces the number of digits. For example, if you give the number of digits as 7, it will create a 7-digit random number. And you can also mention the lower limit and upper limit as well. But if you want One second. If you want to mention the lower limit and the upper limit, then all you need to do is, yeah, you have to mention it in the form of two square braces. See, from minus 789 to 123. So it will create an integer between these two. So in this way, can I use the random numbers function here? So what I do is, I'll just say Ramya dot Oreo dot curly braces R&D square braces. How many digits do I want? I'll take some 2 digits. Close both the braces at the rate gmail.com. So when I run my test case, every time it will create a 2 digit random number and every time it will create a new email ID. This is one way I can make it. Do you agree? Now if I run this test case, will it work?
Yeah, it will generate automatically another email ID so that we can
If we can work
register.
on it. Perfect. But now here comes the next question. Now we are taking random numbers of 2 digits. So how many we can have 2 digits random numbers? 99 numbers. Am I correct? Or else 100 numbers maximum. Not more than that. Including 00, you'll have 100 of 2 digit random numbers. And now I executed this test case for 100 times already. I'm trying to execute this for the 101 time. Can you say that my number that I am using will not repeat again? Obviously, it will repeat. In the same way, if you take a 3 digit random number, might be after 1000 time it will start repeating. If it is a 4 digit, after so and so position, it will start repeating. You are taking numbers randomly, but that doesn't mean that this is a unique number that you are passing. So what else can we do in order to get a unique thing over here? First, let's run this test case and see. So I just clicked on run in Scratchbook. Let us see if it really works. It generated 87. Okay, one second. Yes, it generated 87. But if again the same 87 may repeat once again, right? So that is the reason what I can do is I will take the combination of date and time. That is, today is 29 April 2021. And what is the time now? 0841. So will it come once again? No,
No.
right?
No, Ramya.
So then obviously every time I will have a unique number with me. So that is the so how can we get this date time function here? So even date time is an internal function of Tosca. All you need to do is curly braces and say date. See, I just kept D. See, you have a date function and date function will give you the dates. Similarly, you have a date time function which will give you the current time stamp exactly. And they gave you an example. See, 2021 0429 08 32 13. means 8 hours, 32 minutes, 13 seconds. Okay, in that way you can take it up. So what I do is like I copy this date time at the rate gmail.com. Even this is also fine. If you want, you can append it, you can have a prefix of ramya.oreo, or else you can directly date this one as well. So every time it will be a unique value. Now let's try. Before that, give me one moment. Yeah, I'm running my test case now. So I clicked on register and it started filling details. See, this time it took the timestamp 2021 04 29 843 something. So now if you observe, we are getting a unique value every time. That is well and good. But now, how can I know the email ID, what it has used? See now, just now, did anybody observe the email ID that it has generated? I just read only some part of it. While I am reading the last four numbers, it vanished. So how can we use it? We may need to log into the same email ID once again, right? So there comes another two concepts. Okay. So now we will discuss what is buffer and why do we need it. Okay. Yeah. Buffer is nothing but a variable. You may have seen in other programming languages and all. They will say int a equals to 10 or string a equals to hello, something like that. Which means there is a variable name and then there is a value to that variable. The same applies here also. But you need not worry about any of the data types and all. Okay. What we call it is as a buffer. Buffer is nothing but a variable. It has a buffer name and it has some value in the buffer. Okay. Now let's see how can we create buffers and also how can we access those. How can we view them in the normal time with not only during the test case, and how can we delete them. Again, when I say delete, it can be single, it can be multiple. Okay, let's see these things now. Buffer name can be anything, there is no restriction at all, and the value is something whatever you want to store. Okay, and then how many kinds of buffers do we have in Tosca? We have three types. One is the normal buffer or the static buffer, people say. Okay, another one is the partial buffer. Third one is the dynamic buffer. How can we create these buffers? Today let's learn only static buffer, not these two. Okay, how can we create these static buffers? There are two ways. One way is by using tbox set buffer standard module. The other way is by using action mode as buffer, and here you will be passing the buffer name as value. I'll show you these things practically, don't worry. Next, how can we access them? The syntax is curly braces, capital B, square braces, that particular buffer name. How can we view them? You can view them from tools, buffer viewer, or else from settings, engine. How can you delete them? You can delete them by using delete buffer standard module. That is the legal, like proper way of deletion, or else you can delete them through any of these tools, buffer viewer, or settings engine. The same applies here as well. Now let's see what are these actually and how do we access them. Buffer is nothing but a variable. You can store anything in a buffer. There is no rules like you can store only these values, you cannot store these things and all when you are using buffers. Okay, and let me show you. I'm creating another test case for buffers. So right click and say create test case and name it as buffer. And currently it is still in work, so I will keep it in work. Yeah, the first way to create a buffer is by using the standard modules. So before we start with buffers, like how can you view them is go to this tools menu and here you have an option, see buffer viewer. If you click it, it will come here. These are already some of the buffers that I have in my computer. Okay, so now let's create a new buffer. Do I have a buffer with the name Ramya? No, I have buffer values, but not buffers. So now let's create a buffer with the name Ramya. Okay, so how can I add a test step? The shortcut is Control T or else search and add test step. And simply say buffer. That's all. See, it will list out all the modules which are related to the buffer. Among these, the first one, that is tbox set buffer, is the one which will help you to create a buffer. So you can create a buffer with the name Ramya and the value that I am storing inside it is Oreo. And I want to create another buffer also like Ramya1 and and this time I will store some numbers, some characters, some special characters. Okay, whatever I want I can store. Okay. And now, in order to create them, you should run them. Only then they will be created here. Now I am running this. You can run test case or else you can run the test step also. Okay, see now these two are created. In the scratch book after executing also, see buffer with name Ramya has been set to Oreo. Buffer with name Ramya1 has been set to some stupid value. Okay, so in this way you can create the buffers. This is one way. The other way is by using action mode buffer. This will be during runtime. I will show you in our test case, registration test case. Okay. So now the next question comes. How can we access them? So now I want to do something on this value that is present in Ramya buffer. So how can you access it? I'm creating another buffer called Oreo, and the value that I want to store in this Oreo buffer is the value which is present in buffer called Ramya. So then curly braces, capital B, C returns the value stored in specified buffer. Buffers are temporarily stored, saved to section buffer of the settings dialog, so on so. Okay, and here you will be giving the curly braces, capital B, square braces, and that particular buffer name. What is the name of your buffer? See, Ramya. And close both the braces. So now, what will be the value in my Oreo buffer? Did you guys understand the buffers concept a little bit?
Yes, Ramya. It's quite clear. Oreo will have the value of Ramya, that is Oreo.
We are using the buffer of Ramya, right? So that means what is the value in Ramya buffer? Oreo. So obviously when Oreo is created, it will have the value as Oreo.
Oreo.
Let's see that. See, Oreo has been set to value Oreo. Okay, so this is how you can access the value of the buffers. The next one is, how can we view them? You already know. You saw them from the tools and the buffer viewer. The other way to see these buffers is go to project, go to settings, and in this settings, click on this engine here, and then see here you will have buffer, and all these are my buffers. So among these, where is our Ramya? Yeah, see here it is. Ramya 1, Oreo. Okay, these are the buffers that we created. So all these are present here. If you want to delete them from here, yes, you can delete them. Like you can click on them and say, click on your delete button. See, do you really want to delete this? Yes, and just delete it. First, suppose I want to delete all my buffers. Then right click and say delete all collection entries. So it will delete everything. Okay. I did not delete it here because I want to show it as part of the standard module. Okay. Now let's come back.
Ramya, this is Raghu here.
Yes.
Ramya, can you please repeat 1 second? So how to access the last one? Ramya,
One way to access
how to access the buffer?
in order to access the value that is stored in the buffer, the syntax is curly braces, capital B, square braces, and that particular buffer name. We already know that any function in Tosca is accessed with curly braces. If you want to access the value that is stored in a buffer, just say capital B, square brace, and that buffer name. And then close both the braces. That's all. Okay. And here I am storing the value which is stored in the buffer called Ramya. So I'm creating a new buffer which is Oreo, and in this Oreo, the value of this Oreo should be the value which is present in Ramya buffer. So what is the value present in Ramya buffer? Oreo. So that is the reason Oreo buffer also got the value of Oreo in it. Okay.
Yes, Ramya. Got it.
Yeah. And now how can you view your buffers? One way is just go to this tools and click on this buffer viewer. The other way is go to that project settings, and in that engine option you will see the list of buffers. Okay, and here you can directly select the buffer and click on delete, or else you can do a right click and say delete all collection entries. It will delete all of the buffers. Okay, the other way is you can just go to this buffer viewer and select the random controls, like pressing on the control button and then click on delete button. See, it will be deleted. Even this way is okay. The other way is by using the standard module. So I'm pressing on control and T button so that I will add a search and add test step. I'll say delete. See, we got T box delete buffer. You just double click on it, and here all you do is you will specify the name of the buffer. I want to delete Ramya, buffer called Ramya. So I gave that name, and now I will just simply run this. So now Ramya buffer will be deleted. See, successfully deleted the selected buffers. And now go and see here, do you have anything with Ramya? See, no buffer is present because it is deleted. And if I want to delete all buffers, simply run the same tbox delete buffer without specifying any value. Simply run this. No value, no action mode, nothing. Just run it blankly. Then it will delete all the buffers that are present. Successfully deleted all buffers. See, nothing is there here. Everything is deleted. Now is it clear to everybody about buffers?
Yes,
Uh,
Ramya.
Ramya, one doubt.
Yes.
When you are using the settings engine, you are like right clicking on the buffers, right? There we are getting three options like delete overrides, and collection rights.
Yeah, you have to choose the delete collection entries.
What's the difference between these three?
Actually, that 1 second I will show you. Actually, if you remember, settings is something which is applicable to the local level. Okay. In the same way, whenever we are creating the buffers and all, they will be stored only in your computer.
Okay.
Okay. And I said you like if you are doing any of the changes to your settings, it will not be applied to the other machines and all.
Yeah.
In the same way, whenever you are deleting a buffer, you cannot undo it.
Yeah.
So it would be a shift delete. That is nothing but permanent delete.
Okay.
Okay, so when you say delete all and delete override, this is something which is totally different. Like these options come up for when you have this override options and all, so then you can change those. So that is the reason they come up here. But
Okay.
actually, in order to work with buffers, you should choose the shift delete, that is the permanent delete of the buffers.
Okay.
And even now we deleted all our buffers here. And now if
Mm.
after press if I press Ctrl Z also, like I cannot undo that. See, I'm pressing Ctrl Z. See, nothing is coming. These statement, this test case is coming up. But am I getting
The
any
buffers are
buffer? No.
no.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
See, okay. Yeah,
Thank you.
no problem. Ayyo. Okay, yeah, I'll just keep it in this way so that we will remember. Okay, I just mark this as completed. Yeah, so now you know how can we create a buffer and what is the main purpose of buffer. The next thing, why did we come up with this buffer concept is, here I am entering my email ID, that is date time. So what I want to do is, after entering this email ID, I immediately want to store it into a buffer so that I can check my email ID. I can know my email ID, right? And while logging in also, I can just use it in the form of this buffer value. So now how can I buffer it? So you can buffer anything during runtime. All you need to do is, I'll show you here. Like for suppose, if you want to buffer something during the runtime, all you need to do is here simply give the buffer name. The name I am using is email as my buffer, my buffer, and the action mode is buffer. So when I give this, right, this will create a buffer that named email, okay, and the value of it is whatever present in the email area, email text box. Okay, so now in order can I do it in this way? Like first step, I will enter female. I'll click on female, first name, last name, and then I will enter this email ID. And next step, I am buffering this email ID into a buffer, and then I will enter the password, confirm password, and then click on the register button. Is this correct? Let's run this and see. Okay. It's already logged in. Okay. Register, entering the details 290902555. Let's see. Right click, and here I have the expand all, so I can see all this. See, buffer with name email has been created with so and so value, and then your registration message successful, and then it clicked on log out, and then it closed the browser. Now, is this the correct approach to do? Did you guys understand, yes or no?
No, Ramya, this is not the correct approach.
Okay. Why do you think this is not the correct approach?
Because the email ID which is entered and we are capturing the email ID, then in that case the email ID might be a duplicate one. When you try to register, try to complete the registration process.
But actually we are capturing the email ID immediately, right? I don't think that is wrong. Okay. The next thing that I want to discuss is cardinality. What is cardinality? Why do we need it? Is basic. One second, I will just save these notes for you.
Ramya,
Yes.
to do the buffer, you copied the first test case and paste it, right?
Yes. So instead of copying the test cases and pasting it, why did we do that? Because we have multiple operations in order to perform on the same test step. You have two things you have to do on the email. One is you have to enter the value as datetime@gmail.com. Second thing is you want to buffer the value. So how many operations do you need to do? Two operations. Am I correct? Hello.
Hello, Ramya.
Actually,
Voice
if
is
you don't understand this topic, I will repeat once again. These are the very basic level concepts that we dealt today. Or if it is becoming too much, I will discuss about this on tomorrow's class as well. But I want you to
Yes,
respond.
Ramya. I want you to repeat this same topic actually. It's a
Okay.
little bit confusing for me.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, okay, leave it. So now we will not go for the next topic. Leave it here. We will just repeat whatever we have learned in today's class.
okay,
Okay?
that would be fine. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
I want all of you to respond, or else I don't know, right, whether you understood or not. So I'll be just going forward. Okay. So now today, once we logged into the session, we started knowing that we have multiple internal functions in Tosca. And all these internal functions can be accessed by clicking on a flower brace. If you type flower brace in a value, then it will list you all the functions that are present in the Tosca. Okay, even click is one of the function that you have. Excuse me. Yeah. The next important thing that we learned is about random numbers. How can we generate a random number in Tosca? So in order to generate random numbers, the function that you have to use is flower braces, RND, square braces, and the number of digits. For suppose you want 5-digit random number, you just simply give it as 5 and close both the braces. In the same way, for suppose I want a random number between 29 and 99. So how can I specify it? Then curly braces RND, instead of number of digits, you will be specifying two limits. Okay. One is the lower limit, that is 29. Next one is the upper limit, that is 99. And close the curly braces. This will also generate a random number which is between 29 and 99. Or else you can go for this. This will generate a random number with so and so number of characters, like number of digits in it. After this, we learned about how can we get a current timestamp.
Ramya, can we generate a decimal numbers?
Yes, we can. We will see all of them. Okay, today we just took one. So tomorrow some other. We can generate decimal numbers. You can say number of decimals you want. You can generate random regular expressions. You can generate random characters alone. You can generate random text having these many characters. There are so many things available.
Okay.
So for the current timestamp again, we know that there is a function date time. This will give you the current timestamp. So it's like year 2021 followed by month 04 followed by date that is 29 and number of hours like 09, minutes 08 and seconds some 34 seconds. Randomly I give you. Okay. So this is what it will give us for the current timestamp. Yeah. You may ask me another question like can we change the format and all? Yes, we will still discuss that topic, might be tomorrow or on Monday. Okay, we can change the formats also. The next one which we learned today is buffers. What are buffers? Why do you need them? If you want to store something either from the UI or like if you want to store some value and then use it, then we will go for the buffers concept. Buffers are nothing but the variables. You can store anything in it. Okay, it need not be some text or it need not be some numerics, it need not be some characters, only specified characters, and there is no restriction like that. You can store anything that you want. Okay, you can simply create a buffer and can store nothing in it as well. Okay, it depends on you what you want to store inside a buffer. So for this buffers, how can you, what are the different types you have? You have static buffers, which is nothing but the one which we saw now, like you are giving a fixed value over there. The next one is the partial buffers. Like this is, what you do in the slicing of the strings, or people say it, right? You will, if for suppose if you have a huge sentence, Oreo is a good girl. Among this, I want only 4 characters or 5 characters. So that is what we do here. Okay. And another one is dynamic buffers. During runtime, these will be created. We will see these two in the later point of the time. Okay, not now. After 15-20 days, we will discuss about these two. For now, all you need is static buffers. Okay, so how do we create these static buffers? We know that there is a standard module which will help us to create them. That is nothing but our set buffer standard module. Or else you can create them by in the or during in your test case also, like by giving the action mode as buffer. Okay. The next one is how can you see the buffer that has been created? Simple, which we use during real time is click on tools, buffer viewer. Or else you can see them from settings also, but nobody will use it at all. Okay. The next one is how do you delete them? If it is a single or a multiple buffers, we have the standard module delete buffer. So we will just add it as our test step and delete the buffers that are needed. Or else you can just go to them and click on delete button also. But people in real time mostly use this delete buffer rather than going and clicking on delete buffers, delete button on keyboards. Okay. So this is what we discussed. Is it clear?
Yes, Ramya.
Okay. And now we thought like whatever value here we are entering in this email is a text field, right? Text box that we have. In the text box, we are entering a current timestamp at the rate of gmail.com. The same value, whatever we are entering, we need that value once again so that we can log into that account. That is the reason I am buffering it. How can we buffer? By giving the action mode as buffer. And this one here, the value is there, right? This is nothing but our buffer name. Whatever buffer name that you want to use to store this value, you can specify that. You need not specify email only. You can specify Ramya email, something, whatever makes sense to you. Email I have given or also have entered. Then it will create a buffer with the name email I have entered, and the value in it will be your email. Okay.
Bhavya, one quick question. So you mean to say that, okay, so whatever we have entered, like date and time at the rate of gmail.com will be, the value will be passed here, right? Email I have entered, correct?
Yes, will be the value that is stored into this buffer.
Okay, so my question is, assume that we have assigned two buffers in the top. So which value it will take here, if that is the case?
No, see one thing. Here we are not, no, you are again confusing. Here, what are we doing here on the email text box? We are
Uh,
entering the timestamp at the rate of gmail.com.
correct.
So what it does here is, it will just store this value, whatever is present in this text box, into this buffer.
Mhm.
ఈ టెక్స్ట్ బాక్స్ లో ఏదైతే వాల్యూ ఉంటుందో ఆ టెక్స్ట్ బాక్స్ లో మీరు ఏ వాల్యూ అయినా ఇవ్వండి, ఆ వాల్యూని తీసుకొచ్చి ఇందులో పెడుతుంది అది.
Okay, but I have a question. Like, assume that, okay, now, okay, like it's like a buffer. We are we buffer will be like when you are giving the example, right? You given like
Yes.
Ramya is the buffer name and value is what you have given when you're discussing, correct? Now
Yes.
assume that, okay, this is the value. Okay, date time at gmail.com is the value, buffer
Okay.
value, and buffer name is email I have entered, correct?
Yes.
Correct. So where is the connectivity between these two? How it will understand? Is this default functionality of the tool?
Yeah, it is the default functionality of the tool.
Okay.
Here,
If
where are you working on? You are working on the same text box. See, email text box and again the email text box.
Email will be the reference actually, where the buffer.
Yes, from where are you actually taking the value? You only identified this email text box, that this is the place you have to take the value from, or this
okay,
is the place where you have to enter the value. So that
okay,
is
here,
provided through modules.
okay, here I'm here the value is referring from the object name, right? Email and email. So from
Yes.
this it is connecting. Okay, got it, Ramya. Thank you.
Yeah. And here, for suppose now I have some value already in this email I have entered. Okay. Think like my buffer name is buffer1. Okay, that is easy for all of us. Okay. So I already have some value in this buffer1. So now when I am running this test case, so what will happen? Will it create a new buffer or will it update the value in this buffer?
It should update.
Yes. Reminding people. What do you think will it happen now? Will it update or will it create a new buffer, duplicate one?
Update the value.
Yes, exactly. It will update the values. Okay. If it is already there, it will update it. If it is not there, then it will be created.
And
Yes.
in the first time, I use the buffer name as buffer1, which will store the email ID. And in the second time, if I change the buffer1 to buffer3, that create a new buffer, right?
Yes. When you run it, it will create a new buffer.
And can you show me the way the email ID is
Sorry?
done?
No, I did not understand. I can't hear you properly.
Yeah, a lot of background voice.
Okay, wait. Yeah, Ganga, please unmute yourself. Only Ganga. Hello.
Yeah, now clear, Ramya?
Yeah, it's somewhat better. Please tell me, what are you asking?
Initially, we ran this test case, right? If the buffer is created and the email ID also saved, can you just show me that one?
Yes. Do you want me to run this test case once again?
Yes, yes.
Okay. See, already some email called buffer called email has been created and the value is so and so. Shall I change this buffer name to email or shall I keep it as buffer?
Keep it as buffer.
Okay, I'll keep it in this way and I'll run this. Zero 091905. Let's see. See, another buffer is created now. Okay. For suppose now if I am running this once again. One second. Then it will update the value already that is present in buffer 1. See now. Last time it is 1905, right? So now it is 1955. It is failed. Okay, it failed at this point. Browser demo is not found. Okay, leave it. There is some fix, but still see this buffer has been updated. Okay.
Ramya, I have one doubt.
Yes, please.
Yeah, without creating buffers, can't we see the email IDs after executing the test case in Scratchbook
No,
by just dragging it?
we cannot see.
Okay.
See, simply just go here. It entered. Can you see any information?
No, no. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So tomorrow, let's see what is cardinality, how do we wait, and why is this steps failing exactly? Why am I manually going and clicking on logout every time? All this will be fixed by tomorrow. Okay.
And in Tosca, Ramya, there is only one option like buffer to get the data.
Yes. There is no other topic like variables or some other things. All we have in Tosca is buffers. That's all. Okay. Yeah. Thank you all. Thanks for joining. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.